Hi besties, let's talk about the 13, yes, double digits, 13 books that I read in April. You're probably wondering, Anna, why do you literally only have 4 books in front of you? Well, most of the books I read last month are also on Kindle Unlimited, so I was using this puppy all freaking month. If you're looking for Kindle Unlimited reads, you're welcome. All right, you guys, to start the month, I got a 5-star read. Literally, are you kidding? Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Oh my god. This is so funny that I'm filming this today because I met her yesterday. She did a signing in New York City and my best friend and I got tickets, so we got to meet her and she was so wonderful. I was so nervous. I literally walked up to her and I was like, I'm so scared. I love your energy so much. You're so cool. The banter and the tension in this book is next level. Literally the only thing that could have made it better, which this is my personal opinion, I know others will not agree with it. I do wish this was a little spicy-er. The banter and the tension was really good. I know this is a YA book, so obviously it's not gonna be spicy. But I feel like that would have taken it to the next level for me. Like I think I would have like loved this book even more. But again, that's personal preference. And I know she wrote this when she was 18, so it makes sense why it is not like that. I'm so excited to read the next book that comes out July 2nd, I think. And I also, yesterday after the signing, I got Powerful, which is the novella about Adina. And I cannot wait to read this and read her story. This book was so freaking good. If you have not read it yet, why? Like, I'm actually curious just why. I did put it off for a while because I was nervous because it does get a lot of hype around it, but it's warranted because this is so freaking good. So, 5 stars. Starting the month, so freaking strong. Next up, I read Forget Me Not. This book I rated 3 stars. I did enjoy it. I feel like I would have liked it more if I was not in the wedding industry. Just because some of the things that were happening and like said, I was like, in reality, I know it's a book, but for me, I was like relating it back to like my experiences, like being at weddings and like all of that. So that kind of like ruined it a little bit for me. For the average person, that's not going to be the case. However, I really did like their story. He is a wedding florist and she's a wedding planner and they are working together. This very high profile wedding and it's basically just following their story going from the past to now and like navigating all of that. So I really did enjoy it. I'm excited to read the second book that's coming out. I'm not sure when, but it does follow, I think, some people that were mentioned in this book. Next book I read was The Housemaid's Secret, which is the second book after The Housemaid. I really enjoyed. I rated this book 3 stars. I did read it on Kindle Unlimited, so I'll have a little picture of the title right here, but it is again following Millie. She is in another family and situation, and I don't want to give too much away, but basically it was good. Frida McFadden books for me are typically always around 3 stars. They're very fast reads. If I do read like a fantasy or a like dark romance and I want to go into something fluffy before I kind of start reading something else, I always pick up thrillers, and most of the time lately they have been Frida McFadden. I am going through her backlist. I don't know, like I don't like live, love, laugh, die for Frida's books. I do enjoy them, and like I said, they're very fast reads, so you really can't go wrong. But you'll see another one of her books actually that I read this month as well. The next one comes out, I will also be reading that one, so you can't go wrong. They're great, they're fast. If you have not read any of her books, I would definitely recommend trying some. The next 4 books that I read are part of Nikki St. Crow's Vicious Lost Boys series. Oh my gosh, I ate these books up in literally a few days. They're all super short, so good, very like guilty pleasure books. I absolutely loved them. The first book, The Never King, I gave 4 stars. I really enjoyed that. The second book was my least favorite. I gave it 3 stars. It was called The Dark One. Book 3 was named Their Vicious Darling. That was also 4 stars. The last book was called The Fey Princes, which was also 4 stars. I Just loved it. It is a why choose. If you don't like that, you're not gonna like these books. But it's so good. I was literally like screaming, crying, kicking my feet, like actually like out loud, okay? It is a Peter Pan retelling. I don't honestly like, it's just so good. And I know a lot of people might not agree, but I thought they were great. The next book is coming out soon, I think. I don't know if it's the last one, but it is the 5th book in the series. And I cannot wait to get my hands on that. Like, it's just so, it's so good. So I definitely will be reading that when it comes out. This next book was my second 5-star of the month. And when I tell you, I have no freaking words. So basically one day I'm scrolling on TikTok, right? And a book talk video comes up on my page and it's like, oh, if you liked Anyone But You, the movie, you need to read this book. And I was like, what book? Like, I'm gonna read it right now. And it was Bridesmaid for Hire by Megan Quinn. I had never read a Megan Quinn book before. That was my first one, and holy guacamole, you guys. 5 million stars. Oh my God, I just can't. Like, that's one of my like 6-star reads, like favorite books of all time. And I say that with my chest. Like, I mean that. It's so good. It is brother's best friend. It is forced proximity. It is fake dating. Please read it. A lot of people did say it was kind of like The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, but I DNF'd that book. I did not like it, literally at all. That was when I first started reading, so maybe I would feel differently now, but was not a fan. However, Bridesmaid for Hire by Megan Quinn. Oh my God. That was one of the books where, like, you know when you're reading and you have to put it down because you're like, have to, you know, be normal and like do your job or do the laundry or just like be a person. Whenever I had a spare minute, I literally like was face in the Kindle. I kept picking it up. I was like, I cannot get enough. Like, I was literally laughing out loud at some parts, and I know, like, when I say that, I'm like, oh, that book was so funny, like, whatever. Like, I was literally laughing. I was laying in bed one night reading it, and my husband looked at me and was like, what are you reading? Like, are you okay? Because I was laying there like, like, I was dying. It was so funny, so good. The spice was chef's kiss. It was so freaking good. And like, I'm like, I have butterflies just talking about it right now. So this will definitely be on my reread list because I don't think I could ever get enough. I also read this on Kindle Unlimited, but I have the paperback, so at least I can hold something now. This is the 4th book in the Dirty Air series, Redeemed by Lauren Asher. I gave this book 4 stars. I really love it. Everything Lauren Asher does is really good. Lauren is one of my auto-buy authors. I love everything that she does. And I did really like this book. I think I went into it expecting more because it is so hyped up and so loved by everybody that I was like, this has to be 5 stars. Like, nothing is gonna compare and it's gonna be so good. It was really good. But I think that the hype around it kind of killed it for me a little bit because I was just like, you know, putting so much into it. Remember like 2 seconds ago when I said I loved Bridesmaid for Hire by Megan Quinn? Well, since I love that book so much, I wanted to read A Not So Meet Cute by her, which everyone talks about and loves that book. So I picked it up. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was really good, but it was not Bridesmaid for Hire. It is another fake dating, forced proximity, grumpy sunshine situation. I really, really enjoyed it. I really like Megan Quinn's writing. It didn't give the same vibes as Bridesmaid for Hire, and it didn't give me that 5-star feeling, but it was a 4-star and I highly recommend it. She's so good with spice and tension, and like, I love the way she writes her characters, so I'm so excited to dive into more of her books in the future and read her entire backlist. Going off of the last Frida McFadden book that I mentioned a few minutes ago, I also read The Perfect Sun by her. I gave it 3 stars. Now that I'm thinking about it though, I feel like it's more of a 2.5. Again, Frida McFadden writes really quick thrillers. and they're fast-paced, they're interesting, but lately I just haven't been getting like the shock feeling when I'm reading them. They're all okay. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend The Perfect Son. It was not my favorite. It was not like, it's closer to the bottom of the ones I've read from her. The one I disliked the most was The Teacher, which is her most recent release. I did not like that one. It could have just been because of like the teacher-student situation. But yeah, no, that was a bit too much for me and I did not enjoy that one. But this one is kind of like down there with that. Wasn't a fan. But again, Freida McFadden books are so short and fast. I'm gonna keep reading them. These next two books are my most recent reads. Oh my gosh. We have Antihero by Sarah Kate. This book had me gasping. I was kicking my feet. I was giggling. I was unwell. I read this book and the second book called The Homewrecker in a day. One day, I read both of them. I could not stop reading them. The spice, you guys, it was so good. I really like Sarah Kate's writing. I started the Salacious Players Club books by her. I think I read two or three of them. And then I kind of just like didn't continue it. And I didn't know what to read the other day and I saw this on my shelf and I was like, it's so pretty. It's also on Kindle Unlimited. So I read it and I literally could not stop reading it. I'm so glad that I picked it up. It's like the pastor's son and you follow like his story. And like each book is a different brother. So this book I gave 4 stars. I highly recommend it. Go in blind, please. I had no idea what this is about when I picked it up. The second one I also gave 4 stars, called The Homewrecker. Hello. She also liked this book. So what do you give it? Oh, I give it 4.25 stars. It was so good. Okay. Ow. So the only reason I did not give The Homewrecker 5 stars is because like, I thought it was gonna go one way and it went a little bit of a different way and I would have preferred it to go my way. Normally I don't like the cheating situation. I don't, you know, enjoy any of that, but Sarah Kate did good. So that's all I gotta say about that. It's so good. We had so many good reads this month. So we definitely ended on a bang. Literally. All right, you guys, that is all the books I read in April. I had such a good reading month. I absolutely cannot believe it. I loved pretty much everything I read. And I found some of my new favorite books, which is so freaking exciting. And I absolutely love when that happens. It makes me want to read more. So yeah, we had a great month. I'm so excited for May. I'm actually making my May TBR video too, so stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a hot one. It's gonna be a hot fire flames video. So thank you so much for being here. I absolutely love sharing this space with you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will talk to you soon. Bye.